Honestly, I'd rather go watch Barbie and the Nutcracker than this film again. I watched the movie last night. Here's what I think about it. The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. What was a cool theory for a film if you made it into a sci-fi or fantasy film, gets bogged down by the Disney treatment and trying to attach itself to the Nutcracker canon universe, however you want to, not canon universe, but its filmology, and it's just a mess. I say kids movie, but this isn't much of a kids film. Obviously, it is a kids film, but not a whole lot to be entertained as a kid. Not a whole lot to be entertained for as a kid. Yeah, it looks cool. Maybe if you see the 3D, it'd look even cooler. It's one extra D of vision, so there's that. But there's a lot of stuff going on that the kids might not enjoy. There's some, it's like dark, it's colorful in some places, but others it's not. You don't really see much of the realms. You only see one realm, and it's the dark, creepy one, and not the other three fun ones. Otherwise, you're just stuck in a castle, or the real world, or the dark realm. I'm calling it the dark realm. It has another realm name, but we'll just call it dark realm for the sake of the review. There's a giant mice king that's made of like 1,000 or so odd other mice, rats, however you want to call them, and it just looks creepy AF, and it's like haunting and like unmoving. It just moves through objects, and yes, it looks cool as an adult, but as a kid it might not. And then you got 5 or so clowns to deal with through the entire film that are kind of messed up, and Helen Mirren looks kind of crazy with like her stuff going on and isn't used in the greatest, and sometimes her body just, I don't know if she's like that flexible or like that quick in movement, or the stunt double, or like put her face on another body. It just felt weird. Keira Knightley's Sugar Plum is weird in itself. She goes 110% throughout the entire film, and like her character just doesn't make sense, and it's what she wants. And she's one note, but she does switch that one note one time randomly, and it doesn't make sense that it does. And then she's just one note again, but a different. I'm trying not to spoil it for you, just in case you do go see it. And it's kind of hard, but she flips once, and it's just like straight emotion through the first. Then she flips, and it's just straight one emotion the rest of the film until it's over, and I just don't get it. And she's like really into it, like too much innuendo-y kind of, and just kind of cringe once in a while. Morgan Freeman isn't used enough. You have Morgan Freeman, you paid for him to be in the film. Let him be Morgan Freeman. Let him do more stuff. Jack Whitehall is just Jack Whitehall. He's just Jack Whitehall in a Disney costume, essentially. I'd much rather just him do another special on Netflix or something like that. Mackenzie Foy, who you might know as Renesmee from the Twilight films, if you didn't know, does well for only being 18 years old. I mean, obviously she's not, super young, and I'm not trying to give her credit for being young and, okay at acting, but she does okay for trying to lead her first really big film, big budget film, essentially, on her own. But you have Helen Mirren, Morgan Freeman, Keira Knightley, Mackenzie Foy, Jack Whitehall, a couple other people I'm not going to mention just so I don't list all the famous cast members. But you got all that going for you, and the movie still kind of stinks. And by kind of, I mean it does stink. I just don't want to go too harsh on it. This film was another co-directed film. One of the guys who did the film, and by one I mean the guy who did all the reshoots. Yes, there was reshoots on this film. That director, he did Captain America the First Avenger, Jurassic Park 3, October Sky, and the OG Jumanji from '95. Now, he did the reshoots, but the guy who did most of the filming was Lasse Hallstrom, with like a little thingy on the O. He did the main parts, like I said, and he's also known for a couple things. What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Casanova with Heath Ledger, and a bunch of ABBA films. I don't know what the Duke's up with that, but he's done a crap ton of ABBA videos, not films, but like music videos and like short videos. I don't know. Didn't look into that. Just thought it was weird that he had ABBA on his IMDb page, and like there's obviously like a little ABBA something other on the side, or like a song or something like that. This film has cool imagery. I'll give it that. I saw it in real 3D, and there's a couple scenes that are really cool. And also, it had one of the best Disney opening credits, not credit scene, there's a difference, but opening credit that I can remember in a while, in terms of what it does with the Disney like logo once the film actually begins. You know, once you're done with all the trailers and it's like New Century Fox or whatever, Disney presents, you know, that where they show like the Disney like Cinderella Castle. That thing is really cool. And there's a couple of one-shots that, yeah, they're animated, but I do appreciate a good one-shot or long shot, however you want to call it. And if you don't know what that is essentially where everything happens in one take. It's easier to do an animation just because you're not actually dealing with human beings, but it's still hard at times to do it with animation. If you had a lot of characters in the beginning of this film, there's a lot of characters in this one shot, and I really liked it aesthetically, but after that, you're just going to start getting nitpicky for things you like, and things you don't like are going to come easier. The plot is just, my gosh, it's predictable, and it's predictable, but the reasons why it's predictable is stupid. Very stupid, and I don't want to ruin it, but the more you think about it, the more you're just like, okay, how does that work? Actually, I'm just going to talk about it. So, right as of now, I give this a very small 4 out of 10 in terms of score. Like, if you see this in real 3D, it might be worth it if you got a pass and it's not going to cost you much. Otherwise, don't send your family to go see this. Go watch The Grinch, or just stay at home and watch a couple Christmas movies on your own, or watch any other Nutcracker version, honestly. Except for maybe really, really dark ones, if those exist. I'm not sure if those exist or not. But there's a lot of other options for you and your family to watch, or you and your spouse or significant other, or however you want to watch this movie. Probably just do something else. Obviously, yeah, if you had the inclination, everything looked cool, then yeah, go see it. But if it was only inclination to go see it, maybe not. Okay, so we're going to go to spoiler territory because it's stupid. So we'll dabble there. I won't say a lot of names, but a certain character is like doing evil things, right? And a lot of people flee because she does these evil things, right? Follow me, keep them with me. But it was all a lie. Like a marketing ploy or like a propaganda ploy. But if it was all propaganda, how did the people actually leave? Now, if you didn't follow that, a person, a leader, was just living her life, doing everything normal, had her people with her, they all lived a happy life in this realm, and then all of a sudden they all left, or something happened to them, and then the leader of this place was to blame and was essentially at war with other people. But to have a war, you have to have people, and this leader didn't have people, and the people left. But if the people left, they would have had a reason to leave, but there wasn't a reason to leave. It was all propaganda made up. So how do you have a war with no people? And then how do you also lose all your people if you didn't do anything to lose the people? I don't know, it pisses me off more than it should, because how stupid it is. They just want to write things the way it in, and write certain plot twists in the certain way that they wanted to, and it's stupid. That's what's on my notepad. It's like underlined a couple times. So, but like I said, 4 out of 10. It's not super fun. It has some moments, but there's a lot of weird, like, incesty kind of vibes from a dad character, and I don't I don't feel proud of saying that, but it's just how it kind of feels. And some other things are going on in the film that just they're just not good. You had a good cast on paper, okay directors on paper, at least one good one and one kind of one. At least for the rest of the filmography, I just did the best ones they had when I talked about them. There's others in their categories, obviously. But just, it could have been done better. Like I always do in reviews, it's on basis of how they could have been. And that's kind of like, makes my job easier because I can say, oh, it could have been a terrible film, but it actually did okay, so here's a higher score. But you could have done so much better with this, or you could have put this idea somewhere else, or just changed the Four Realm idea and just do a normal Nutcracker film. Maybe make Keira Knightley an older Clara, and have the same story going over again, but more like Snow White and the Huntsman kind of vibe. And maybe it wouldn't have sucked, but then again, Snow White and the Huntsman kind of sucked, but I got a sequel, so I don't know. I don't know, okay? I don't know. It was bad. It was bad. I'm sorry. It's bad. But tell me what you thought about the film in the comments down below. And leave a like while you're there, or subscribe while you're there, please, if you enjoy it. And I'm always open to feedback about stuff as well. Maybe my eyes look like they're too high right now, or I look too tired right now, which is a possibility. But as always, my name is Clark Addison. I review entertainment because I care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.